Hey everyone,
Hey,
I'm Jen.
I'm Brian.
Welcome to the 10th episode of Schooled.
I can't believe it's been 10.
We made it to double digits.
That's crazy.
And this is our last episode.
Yep.
Just kidding.
We average about 4 subscribers per episode. So,
Yeah, two of them are us.
but we're having fun.
We are. On today's episode, I am going to be talking about the etymology of a few words that I've chosen. The very first one is okay. Okay.
Let's go into our not related topics
Are you?
to Taco Bell.
Whoa. Well,
Actually, yours could be. I don't
we
know.
just we just did. We're talking about the etymology of words,
Yeah.
which is basically the history of words and how they became what they were.
Yeah.
A chili cheese burrito is the same thing as a chilito. Some mother forking kids just took it and shortened it into a little cute word, which goes into my whole topic, ironically. So that's my train. Except for I had
Nice.
already written this. So
Yeah, I know. How'd you even do that?
okay. Oh, I just said it. So the reason I wanted to do this segment was because we say the word okay about 1,000 times a day.
Yes.
And we were like, where'd that come from?
And but okay. Oh,
I actually,
shoot, I just did. It's crazy. Now I'm going to only think about how much I say like and okay.
I didn't put this into the episode except for I am now. So I didn't take any notes on it. So I'm going to try and remember this off the top of my head.
Sure.
But I was watching this one video that said that like actually ab, ac, I can't remember. There's like four more are crutch words and don't actually have any meaning. They literally are just added to a sentence because they're
Yeah.
called a crutch word.
Interesting.
Doesn't have any meaning at all. Anyway, so that was just like because I was doing the etymology of words, and so those mean anything. So we say okay a lot during the day. Like even my Alexa says it to me like 1,000 times a day. every
Yeah.
time, every time I say anything to her, she's like, okay.
Right.
So
That does happen.
where does the word okay come from? And then trying to figure this out kind of set me down a rabbit hole of, oh, where does this word come from? Where does this word come from? So I kind of just added in a couple other interesting ones
All
that
right.
that I found. So are you ready to go down
I'm ready.
a super fun rabbit hole with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
This sounds exciting.
Oh, okay. God.
I know it's gonna be like driving me nuts.
So okay is the world's most recognized word globally. It
Wow.
can be used as an adjective, this is okay, a noun, I gave this my okay, a verb, I okayed it, an adverb, she did okay, and then an interjection like okay.
Oh yeah. All right.
So, yeah,
Okay.
okay. So the whole point is where did this word come from? So I found a ton of conspiracies on I'm not going to call them conspiracies, theories on they say it originated from here and here. So I'm going to tell you all of them and I'll tell you the one that I thought was the most credible.
Sure.
One theory is that it came from the Greek phrase ola kala, OLA space
Okay.
KALA,
That sounds plausible.
plausible, meaning all good, which is a meaning for
Sure.
okay. Another
Where was that word from?
Greek.
Greek. Got it.
The Choctaw, which are the Native American people in the southern woodlands of like Alabama and Mississippi, had a word okay, OKEH, and it was which translates to okay also. And it was said that President Woodrow Wilson thought it was the correct spelling of the word okay, which I don't really understand. So he would sign his documents with okay. But the only problem with
Like
that,
the letter O and the letter K.
mhm,
All right.
the only problem with that is that he was president in like 1920, and I found references to it before then.
Maybe he popularized it or something.
No, he didn't do that either. The second to last one that I found, they used to write 0K on battlefield sheets, meaning zero killed, and it looks like okay.
Sure. That's interesting.
This is the one that I actually believe, though. The Utes, as you like to call them.
The Utes.
2 Utes. So kids, I'll call them, in the 1830s were exactly like the Utes of today, minus all of the technology. They liked to make abbreviations of words and turn them into words that their parents didn't understand to try and be cool. They tried to make abbreviations of words and change the spelling of words, basically to like fuck with their parents.
Like LOL. Like the beginning of
They
texting.
they are the, which brings me to, where did the word fuck come from? I'm going to tell you. They were the first generations of OMGs, LOLs,
All
LM,
that other
LM, LMN. Yeah, I don't know. IFKRT. I'm making it up now.
AFK.
Yeah. They would abbreviate words such as enough said,
Yeah.
but they would change the spelling to KNUFFCED and change it to KC.
What year was this?
18. This was. Did I not say that? This is the 1830s.
And they would say KC. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Small potatoes, SP. It shall be done, ISBD. All right. They changed to OLL, OLL, right? WRIGHT.
This is really fascinating.
OW.
You're right. They did the exact same thing as
And then
kids
all correct.
All through the years.
All correct was changed to OLLKORRECT. Okay.
So OLL. I gotcha.
Uh-huh. Okay. Originally started out as this OLLKORRECT. All correct. And because of them, the Utes changed the spelling. In the 1830s, it was a common phrase used to confirm that everything was in order. And that's still actually technically how we use it today.
Yeah.
All
Everything is
all
okay.
correct. Yeah. I saw several documents, and I can try and find the links to them that say OLLKORRECT, but written all the way out.
All right.
It wasn't till March 23rd, 1839 that a Boston Morning Post newspaper took the words all correct and spelled it out and then abbreviated it to O.K.
Wow.
Is when it started to become popularized. And then after that, other papers picked it up and began spreading it across the country. And then it was just no longer cool, and the Utes didn't do it anymore. No, I'm just kidding. Because as soon as their parents...
Yeah, as soon as parents start saying it, well, they come up with other words.
Right.
Just like we did.
So what actually kind of made it mainstream was that Martin Van Buren, you've heard of that president, right?
Yeah.
The 8th president of the United States from 1837 to 1841. He was running for re-election.
Fun fact about Martin Van Buren.
Oh, okay.
The only president to have English as not his first language.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. It did not come up in this fact.
It was Dutch.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Why do you know that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So Martin Van Buren was from Old Kinderhook, New York. And he was part of a men's club called Old Kinderhook, and it still exists today. And if a person was in the club, they would say that they were okay. So what Martin did was he realized that this newspaper was publishing okay, and other papers were doing it okay, meaning to the country that it meant that they were okay.
Yeah.
He used it in his president campaign, for re-election in like the 1840, I guess it would have been 1841-ish, and which is literally what took the term mainstream. He didn't win, but there were okay clubs that were formed all around the country.
I have heard of those.
Yeah.
So I guess I just didn't really make the connection.
That is the one that I believe is what caused
it.
That
makes sense.
Not the other words. So so okay was just kind of like, it was still slang. It actually appeared in the first appearance in a dictionary this is literally a dictionary. The slang dictionary, the vulgar, it's hard to say, words, street phrases of high and low society. It appeared in that dictionary.
That's awesome. Now it's called Urban Dictionary, and
right.
It's online.
Now it's online called Urban Dictionary. Yep.
That is so great, though. So
the thing that actually gave it its like functional use and allowed it to be used in society as an actually term to mean something was the invention of the telegraph in 1844. It legitimized the use of okay because a person did not consider a message to be transmitted until someone wrote back okay and like acknowledged that they had received it. And it was actually like written in their manual. You have to write okay
It was part of the policy.
that you received it. Yeah.
That's cool.
And then here we are today, and Alexa says it to me 1,000
That
times a
was
day.
amazing. I
Yeah.
really I've wondered that a lot, and I've never looked up.
Yeah. There were some
Good
other
job.
ones. There were some other ones that I wanted to do, like goodbye and hello, and maybe I'll do like another episode on some other
Sure.
words that we use. That was just like the one that we brought up. So I did a few other. I think I have like 4 or 5 more, and these are kind of shorter, except for the last one. The word sandwich. Do you know where that originates from?
I think I remembered somebody saying it was like it was a beach food.
No.
Like was people wanted to bring lunch to the beach, and they literally were like, okay, I'm gonna take this bread and like put meat on it, so we don't have to like do it all there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called a sandwich.
Okay. Well, much like my theory of how okay became a thing, there could be several theories about how sandwich became a thing. The one that I found is that John Montagu, the Earl of Sandwich, I guess there's a place called Sandwich, used to play poker at the table, and he didn't want his hands would get all like greasy from the food, so he asked for pieces of bread to be put on the outside. And
interesting.
It became a sandwich, and then other people started asking for it.
That kind of makes sense.
It almost seems too perfect. Maybe I like your beach food thing. Anyway. The word nice, and this is more not about how words came around, but this is more like the etymology of words, like how they got there. The word nice initially meant ignorant. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
In Latin, but then it evolved to describe like things that we like, or describe a person, or the word addict derived from Latin, reflecting a state of surrender, originally applied to slaves. I thought that was interesting.
That's really random.
So then I started to get into curse words, like where do some of our curse words come from? And I actually only did one. And a lot of them, there were this same thing, a lot of theories about how curse words could have possibly have come around. So I did the only word in the language that we describe as the F word.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the same with the word okay. The F word can be used as a noun, a verb, an adjective, like all those things, and an interjection. And it can describe, it's so versatile. It can be described as, it covers like a range of emotions, for being like upset to panic to happiness.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it in almost any term. And it's so funny. Right. Every time you use it, just like with the word okay, people always know what tense you're using it as. So, but where did the word come from? No one fucking knows. And who really gives a fuck? Just kidding. I do. Here's some theories.
Okay.
That it's derived from the German word flicken, which means to strike, or flicken, which means to make quick movements to and fro. Okay.
Yeah, it's not really.
Right? Well, but okay, I know.
Actually, I can think of how that links it.
Well, yeah. So, or the term could have come from northern England or Scotland, where they had like a lot of invasions from other countries. And then in Norwegian, fuka means to copulate, and the Swedish word faka means copulate.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, so they're kind of like, yeah.
That pretty much locks it in for me.
So it appeared in the first dictionary in 1598, Italian English dictionary, to flatterize. The F word did not show up in any English dictionary until the 20th century, when the Penguin Dictionary in 1965 decided that they just didn't give a fuck and they wanted to put it in because it was a really vulgar word back then. There was actually, I mean,
it's still considered a vulgar word.
Right, but it's more acceptable. I found that there were actually like laws in England where you could actually go to jail if you used curse words or swear words, I think they called them. Yeah. So, but when did this word curse word like have like negative connotations around it. Like, when did that happen? And they believe that poets did it. Duh. So the first writers to link
Tortured poets?
no,
Okay.
the first poets to link the word fuck to sex were the poem was called Fleece, Fries, and Friars, called out a clergy for having sex with evil women, which was blocking them from heaven. And the word that he used in the poem was fuccant. So it was
Okay.
written in another language. So fuckant? I don't know. And then in 1513, a Scottish poem included the term fuck it, written in another language. Richard Hurd had used the word in a comedy piece called The Humours of Dublin with the line, I did creep in and there I did see putting the great, it says fuck, but I don't think that's fuck, upon my wife, because that was written in another
That's
language.
really weird.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
that's
weird thing to say.
So obviously poets,
Yeah.
dirtiest minds of them all. But anyway, that's kind of like my first dabble, if you will,
That's
into
really
the
cool.
etymology of words.
That was very interesting.
Thank you all for listening. That's a wrap for today. Remember, this is not just a podcast, it's an interactive experience. If you've got a burning topic you want us to try and butcher next, drop it in the comments below. And if we pick your brainchild, you might just find yourself sitting in the hot seat as our honorary guest host. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and follow us on all of our listening platforms. Until next time, stay curious.